The Inkster Grider, and I am really, really happy to have as many people as we have here tonight. It is fantastic to see the attendance each week grow and swell as more and more people start to take the time to welcome their friends and their colleagues and their peers to our presentation on Inkway USA, the Ink Revolution, the way to make money while you're saving money. You're going to learn how to get paid anywhere between 5 and 9 ways today. And how to take a $70 billion industry and get your part of that. I want to welcome founders, distributors, customers, both current and future, to the webinar. And I want to take the time to give a quick introduction of myself. I'm not much on the, not very good at this side of things because I don't like bragging on myself at all, but in large part, I am a sales trainer, a business coach, a business consultant, and a business owner. Wear a lot of different hats, and if you saw my hairline, you'd understand that I really, truly look like I wear a lot of hats. But as far as it's all concerned, when I saw what was going on with Inkway, and Lenny and I have known each other for a really long time, the founder, architect, and visionary behind the entire model of Inkway. When he and I first started talking, years ago about what he had in mind here, I didn't jump on board right away because, quite frankly, the model wasn't what it is now then. It has grown into something amazing now, something that is a almost perfect business opportunity. So I like to start out by talking a little bit about what do you look for in a business model and why does Inkway fit this so very well. So I'm going to kind of jump right through the first couple hoops here. Then we're going to talk about why you might want to own a business and then why this business in particular outside of the pieces that we're covering here. So let's go ahead and get started here. What do you want to look for in a business model? Well, you want a disruptive model in an established market with a high quality product. Now, a disruptive model, what does that mean? Well, a disruptive model is a model that is going into a space in industry that is somehow displacing the way in which things have been done there before. Is there online sales of ink? Absolutely. Is there big box stores of ink? Sales of ink? Absolutely. Are there individuals in the direct sales world going out and doing refills for others and getting paid commissions on selling ink to their neighbors, their local businesses or local schools, nonprofits, churches, etc.? No. And that's where this is a disruptive model. The established market part, I just said it's a $70 billion industry, and it's projected to grow to $130 billion in the next 3.5 years. That's some pretty explosive growth. That's almost doubling in the next 3.5 years, and you're right in the window where that's going to happen. We're going to go from selling 30 cartridges a second to selling almost 60 cartridges a second. Stop and think about that for this long. And there's 240 cartridges that will have gone out the door by 2020. While we were thinking about it, there were 120 that went out the window as well. That's a pretty remarkable thought. If you can start to capture even a small little bit of that market, whether it's on resales through your website, whether it's on refills for others, however it pans out, you stand to have a very nice, lucrative business that you can set up. Now, you also want a high-quality product. Well, 9 out of 10 times in what we call the eye test, our product is picked over all of the other major manufacturers. That means we use our ink to print out, we use competitors' ink to print out the same picture, we put them down side by side, and we see who picks what. 9 out of 10 times, it's Inkway. That's an awesome, awesome deal. And I can't wait, and we got to try and get this on film at some point on down the line, because it's a really remarkable thing to watch, because it's that the people's reactions to it are vivid. When I do it, I use a printer that my folks had that had old ink in it, well, not old ink, but other ink in it from a major manufacturer. And then I used the same printer I have here. I have this exact same model they have, and I used our Inkway inks, and I did that test, and it was amazing what happened. I was showing it to people at the coffee shop while I was refilling for a couple folks that were sitting there and saying, "This is what our ink looks like. This is what the other folks' ink looks like." And then I ran them back and forth, and I presented them to other people that were standing there. I said, which one of these looks better? And every one of them picked the Inkway ink. So that's pretty remarkable, and that's awesome. You want price competitiveness. Now, I will tell you that I'm not a big fan of saying that we're price competitive. Because when you're 50 to 75% less than your competition, that's not competitive, that's a slaughter. We will save people money. Even if it's 10 and 15% on OEM cartridges and things like that, you're still saving a lot of money. But the average savings is around 50% for almost everything, whether it's ink toner for laser jets, whether it's inkjet refills, whether it's the inkjet refill stations that we have where you're refilling for others, then it's up to 75%. That's remarkable. Growing market, we just talked about that. Wide customer base. Well, everybody seems to print these days. There are very few people that do not have a printer. Each home averages 2 printers. Each business averages 7. And again, you don't need a large market share, personally, for that to turn into a lucrative monthly business. You want to be a cause that people believe in. Okay, a cause that people believe in. Well, who is that? That's you. That's the person they know, the person that goes to their church, the person that works in their office building, the person that they go to lunch with, the person their kids swim with or play soccer with. It's not hard to strike up a conversation about, hey, where do you buy your ink? Oh, really? You go to the big box stores. Well, I guess everybody pretty much does that unless they know about what I know about. And hey, check this thing out over here. If you could save 50% off and do well, I'll give you a website link. Would you be willing to go to it? Yeah, absolutely, sure. That's kind of how I talk to people about it. Hey, where do you get your ink? What kind of ink do you use? Oh, really? So how much do you pay for those toner cartridges? Hey, how much do you pay for your inkjet cartridges? Oh, I go, I spend $110 every time I go for the inkjet cartridges. What if you could spend, 50 or less? Well, all of a sudden, they're paying attention. And I'm making money because I'm making 10% of commissions on my web store, which is, again, fantastic and remarkable. The next part is green technology, and that's another thing cause that people believe in. People believe in green. They want to go green. They want to go green in a big way. They want to reduce their carbon footprint. They want to stop beating up the earth. They want to stop throwing things in landfills. And you have a perfect way to show them how to do that. It's a phenomenal opportunity to have a green-leaning business. And the fact that it's Green Concepts on top of it all as the parent company never hurts, even if Lenny threw an extra E in there for good measure. So it's G-R-E-E-N-E for Lenny Green, but it's still Green Technologies, and we'll call the E for evolution or something along those lines. All right, well, now, so compensation. Most businesses, they have 1, maybe 2 ways to get paid. They have retail sales and they might have recurring online orders. They have, 1 type of income and that's about it, or 2 types of income and that's about it. Almost every business I ever look at, if you start finding more than a few forms of compensation, you're very fortunate in the start. And then, unfortunately, things usually don't match up on the other levels. You don't have the quality product or you don't have the other things because they're compensating somewhere for something. So what we look at here is there's ways to get paid 5 to 9 different ways. 5 to 9 different ways, and we'll get into that here in a few minutes. You also want to look, when you're looking at a business model, who does the support for product, who does the tech support, the training, and especially the stocking, the shipping, and the handling, okay? Stocking, shipping, handling, all very, very, very key. That you don't have to have a garage full of stuff. You don't have to have stacks and stacks of cartridges that you may or may not sell today, tomorrow, or the other day. You also don't have to be the expert on them because we handle all the tech and the product support. We also handle the training. The training's on demand. It's set up as Inkway University and webinars and things like that. And we're starting to get some interest from folks on taking some seminars on social media, some seminars on LinkedIn, how to sell the product. We're going to talk a few things. Some of the new stuff that's coming in tonight is we're going to talk about how to sell this product and how to get it out there and actually work your business a little bit tonight. But again, all these pieces are covered. That's remarkable. Marketing materials, again, we're giving you a bunch of things up front. Now, are we giving you everything you're going to need? Probably not. And we're certainly open to suggestions and we're certainly open to ideas. But we're giving you enough to get started with, and we're giving you pieces that are evolving as we move forward. So I think that honestly, everyone should find a way in which they can get out of their own way and start promoting the business, start pushing it out there through various channels, and start talking about the hot buttons that people have that get them to buy your product and be a part of this business. Now, the low entry price point is also key. I'm going to show you in a couple slides from now how you can actually take part of what comes with the business and turn it into a 3 times your actual entry fee profit. We'll get to that in a minute. But again, think about that. What business do you know, if it's a franchise or a license or something like that, that you pay your license fee and they show you how to triple that money, especially in a franchise fee, in the first, let's say, 3 months at maximum if you go out and work, okay? Low monthly operations costs. Well, I can tell you that there's nobody in this business that pays more than $49.99 a month to run their business. And that gets you all of these things. And an ability to begin now. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to send an email off to CEO@InkwayUSA.com and either purchase founder units, purchase more founder units, get yourself activated for the founder units you have, become a distributor, become a customer, whatever it is, you can send off an email to CEO@InkwayUSA.com. You'll hear that a couple times tonight. And we'll get back to you almost immediately and get you rolling and started. So you can begin now, which is awesome. Now, why build a business? Well, I don't know what everyone else's why is here. And if you want to type in chat why you want to have a business and why you want what it is that's attractive about having a business, please feel free to go ahead and type into the chat and I can see it come up. But most people want to build a business because they need a bit of extra income each month. It's not always a huge amount. Sometimes it's I just need an extra $500 or an extra $200 or an extra $300. The recent CNN report showed a decrease of $400 per month for the average American family since 2008. Now, we had a huge economic downturn in 2009 and 10. And that number is still low, despite the resurgence of jobs, the resurgence of the economy, according to all the popular stats. There's still a $400 or more gap between what American families need each month and what they have each month. So they end up with more month than money. And I'm telling you, when you hit that final few days that you're skidding, and I may be talking to you very directly here, it's a horrible feeling. And it's not one that anybody should have. And we can show you how to build a business that will help you work out of that. Again, keyword work out of that. Now, again, the other thing is, and this is the saddest part, is that 58% of Americans are really worried what's going to happen to their job if the economy changes. They're worried about losing their job, not just being cut on hours or whatever else, losing their job. So if you're not worried, your partner or your spouse probably is. If they're not worried, then your neighbors almost certainly are. So there's someone to talk to about the idea of building a business. So it's pretty darn key to pay attention and understand that, again, there are a lot of good reasons to build a business. Now, why build a business at Inc? Well, because people are getting ripped off. When they find out how much they're paying, think about it now. Who's outraged when they pay $4 a gallon at the pump? Almost everyone. $5 a gallon, people are losing their minds. When it comes to Inc, people pay $9,000 a gallon. Let that sink in for a second. $9,000 a gallon. And that's why I'm really angry, Laugh, because I can't believe people get taken like that constantly. Heck, I got taken like that until I knew better. You all got taken like that until you knew better. Honestly, I told somebody the other day, he's like, oh, you're just trying to hawk a product. I said, no, I'm trying to keep you from getting ripped off. I said, so if you really think I'm hawking products, we got a whole other thing coming here. So let's get this straight. Let's get it, across that all I'm trying to do is save you money, 50 to 75% on something you have to buy anyway. And he went, oh, okay, I get it now. When it comes down to it, there's basic math to this. Our ink costs 8 cents a milliliter in the inkjet refill stations. Theirs is $2 a milliliter. When the time it hits the store shelves, sometimes a little bit more than that these days. Okay. Don't end up looking like the guy down at the bottom right, which is somewhere between bug-eyed and anger and bug-eyed and disbelief. That's how most people feel when they find out they're spending $9 grand a gallon. The next thing they bug out about, and rightfully so, is the huge environmental impact that comes down. If you want to save money while you're saving the planet, you can avoid taking those 30 cartridges that are sold per second and that almost all end up in the landfill, that ended up, when you line them up end to end, they go around the earth 3 times. 3 times, folks. That was last year, and the numbers have increased this year. So maybe it's 3.5, maybe it's 4 times now, but it's a lot. It's an insane amount of cartridges being thrown into the landfill every single day. So when you look at it that way, a lot of people are going to want to join the Inkway revolution. A lot of the folks I'm talking to right now, and this is a sales tip for you, I'm talking to a lot of office managers, and they're Gen Xers and they're millennials. They're 20 to 35 or 45-year-old people who are now the office managers in a company. And they care about their carbon footprint. They care about saving the planet they're on. Not everybody cares. Not everybody thinks that's important. But they do. And when you're talking to the person with the buying decision, and you show them how to save money and reduce their carbon footprint and get a high quality product, it's not that hard to get them to start paying attention to you. It's a huge trigger for them. It's a huge motivation and buying tool for them. So again, it's an eco alternative. Teach them to refill, reuse, and recycle. Show them how they can even do that with their toner. They can even refill their own toner in the offices and save a lot of money, 70, 75%. Or they can buy the drums that we have at 50% off. And again, not have to continue to do all this on and on and on. All right, so next thing. I just talked about the fact that there's 2 printers in every home, 7 printers in every office. There are a lot of different types of printers, whether it be inkjet or it be laser, whether it be old or new, whether it be brand name or off-brand, whatever it happens to be. We have a solution for every single printer. Every one. And again, we have a high quality ink or a high quality toner, depending. So there's brilliant, long lasting, crisp, clean, clear colors that are popping out on every picture we print. Every printer we use. When we put our ink and our toner through it, it does well. And it's a really nice way to be able to show off with pictures like this one that's up on the screen of the sea turtle and the fish. Okay. Now, we talked about a wide customer base. We talked about 2 printers in every home, 7 printers in every office. But let's break it down in a slightly different way. Let's look at who uses ink. On the right-hand side in the business world, attorneys use ink, realtors use ink, mortgage companies, appraisers, businesses, large or small, car dealers, churches, nonprofits, schools. The list literally could go on that side. On the other side, the home side, school kids use a lot of ink. I have one, I know. The fact that he's a nut about films and likes to print out entire scripts for them, sometimes, I'm really just tremendously thankful I met Lenny and was able to start picking up these ink bottle packs and the refillable, reusable cartridges, because it saved me a ton. And I don't ever have to worry about saying to him, hey, don't print that Tarantino script out, or don't print that David Lynch script out, or don't print that David Fincher script out, because it's just too much paper and it's too much ink. I don't have to worry about that anymore. And you shouldn't either. And your friends shouldn't have to worry about it when their school kids are printing things out, or their kids who are hobbyists in the world of film or photography or something like that want to start doing all this printing. So parents and seniors, teachers, photographers, other hobbyists who do scrapbooking or do wall collages or do all sorts of other things all print a lot. And all of them have to buy their ink somewhere. And all of them are getting ripped off when they buy their ink in the usual places. Okay, let's move on. And let's talk about how you turn ink into cash, because this is where things actually get interesting. When we showed you, okay, who can you sell to? What can you do that way? We talked about, a customer can save 50 to 75%. Now, I also told you we're going to show you how to make money while you're helping people save money. That's what we're going to do next year. And one thing I haven't mentioned in this world is there's 2 ways to come into this company outside of being a customer. One is as a distributor, one is as a founder. It's the next steps in getting paid properly for your investment in the business side of things. You're building a business. So I want each one of you to look at it from that angle and realize, am I in this to win this? Am I in this to literally grow my business and make it into something that I'm going to be really proud of and that I could even fall back on if myself or my spouse lose a job? Or am I going to do this as sort of a hobby? And we'll show you what the results can look like in both cases. We try to be realistic about the assessments. We try to be, honest and straightforward with you about what's possible and what can happen and that type of thing. But we also want to make sure that you're aware of where you might want to put your effort and your how shall I say it? Where do you put your effort and where do you put your resources as you move forward into building the business? Okay, so here's the deal. If you look at bonus number 2, it costs $1,000 per unit for a founder to come in. Okay, there's $1,000 per unit. If you look at bonus number 2, the founder receives 4 refill stations per founding unit. If you look at bonus number 7, you can make $750 per refill station. 750 times 4 is $3,000. So for every 1,000 you put in, you can make 3,000 fairly quickly. That's a $2,000 profit. It's a 3 times return on your investment. Again, as I told you before, that's right out of the gate. In the first few months, you can do that. Oh, Debbie, good question. Why are there 2 X's on some boxes and only 1 X on the others? Because the double X's are where you make money. And the X's are places where they're nice additional bonuses to what we're going through. So good question. Very good question. And so what we're going to go through, I'm going to try, let me back up a half a step because it reminds me I didn't say this either, Debbie, thank you. On the activated founder side, I want to show you all the bonuses you get there first. And then when we get down to bonus 5, and I'll explain bonus 7 again when we get there, then we can talk about where it works for distributors as well. So not only do you get that potential 3-to-1 return right out of the gate, but on bonus number 1, when we hit, the company starts to grow and we hit, I think it starts to pay out at 50,000 distributors, something in that range, where we have people on board and running with this. You're going to get 1.5 bonus return on your purchase price. So if you put in 1,000, you're going to get 1,500. If you put in 5,000, you're going to get 7,500. Put in 10 grand, you're going to get 15,000 back. Now I know those are big numbers. I'm just trying to use them for simple math's sake, not because I expect everybody to invest at that level. Okay, just to be clear. So it's a simple matter of you're getting a 1.5 times return bonus. Why? Honestly, because Lenny Green's a really nice guy. Lenny Green has a vision. He wants you to do well. He has a vision. He wants everyone to do well. This is a way to reward the folks who believe in him up front and get things running. So as a founder, you make 1.5 times bonus return on your purchase price. That doesn't happen for a while. So let's talk about the things that do happen. Twice a year in bonuses 3 and 4, we disperse the profit sharing pools. Pools A, B, C, and D. And they're based on how many shares you have, and we'll talk about it, or how many people you've referred for bonus number 4. Okay? Now, everyone gets the next 4 bonuses. Next 5, really, because one of them's not on the sheet. The next 5 bonuses, 4 of which are shown here. Bonus number 5, you get 10% on all web store sales. This is something that's really important to mention because there's been some confusion around this, and I apologize if I've contributed to that in any way, shape, or form. You get what is it called a replicated website, which means it looks and feels exactly like inkonline.net. It is not personalized. It is not a meet Tom Jones, and he's your local ink guy. That's not the way the website works. It's coded and linked to tracking mechanism that will actually award you, for your 10%. And when customers become customers, they become customers for life. I just got paid the other day on somebody who hadn't ordered in almost 6 months. Okay, they made an initial order when I showed this to them. They loved it. They thought it was cool. They hadn't made another order for their business. I thought maybe they'd found somewhere else they were buying it, or somebody at the office said no, they're not allowed to do that anymore. They just made a big order. And that's mailbox money for me. I didn't realize that was coming, and you won't either. That's the other nice part about the web store sales is once you start running them, it's amazing how many things happen in the background the more and more customers you get. Because Sally Jones, who hadn't ordered for 3 months, all of a sudden calls and orders, or refers a friend to the site and says, hey, you could make you could save some money over here, and you pick it up because they went to your site. Okay, it's that simple. There's, again, really simple way to get that once you're a founder. It's really simple to set up your affiliate link, and I can walk you through via email, work phone, or whatever needs to happen, how to actually set up what's called a redirect link and mask it so it looks exactly like your name at the top or your web address at the top and everything else. It's not hard to do. Now, the next part, there's an $80 referral opportunity bonus. So we used to call this a $40 referral opportunity bonus, but it's really an $80 one because you get it twice a year. You get $40 up front when somebody comes in and does their first ink refill station. You get another 40 when they come in and they do their second one at the end, the 6 months or a year later. Each time you get an ink refill station, and distributors get 2 a year, founders get 2 a year, and founders get 4 up front for each $1,000 unit, you get a chance to do refills for others. Now, I can tell you right now that once a month, and it's only once a month, I go to either the local Starbucks or the local other coffee shop. There's another coffee shop I actually like to frequent more because the people are just very nice. And I go in and I meet people who bring me sometimes 4, sometimes 8, sometimes 24 cartridges to refill. Okay, I've got one guy who's got a huge family, big house, office in the house. He brings in all these cartridges, and we sit there and we talk for, it takes probably about 2 minutes per cartridge. So he's there for an hour. And the whole time he's, we're chatting about life and I'm refilling cartridges, people keep walking by. What are you doing? Hey, wow, can I get my cartridges refilled too? Yeah, I can meet you back here. I'm going to be back here, 2 Saturdays, 3 Saturdays, whatever from now, 4 Saturdays from now, whatever it is that next Saturday of the next month that I'm going to be out there. Or, hey, I'm interested in this. Can I get, where can I get my own refill station? Okay, well, you can go here. That's how this works. It's a matter of going out and working the business. You don't just send out a mailer. You don't just send out an email. You don't just make a phone call to a friend. You actually go work the business. And that's how you get to the numbers we're talking about as we go through. And that's how you generate the business that puts the money into the company profit sharing pools. You bring people to the webinars, they become distributors, you get your matching referral bonuses. They become founders, you get matching company profit shares. Okay, that's the way this works. Bonus number 8, the other pool that grows is the elite bonus pool. Every time we sell an ink refill station, $32.50 of that purchase price, of that $299.95, goes $299.99, sorry, goes directly into the elite bonus pool, which is split out amongst everyone who's active. Active means you're paying your monthly fee of $49.99 or $34.99 right now for founders. Okay? For folks that are currently founders, it's $34.99. For folks that aren't currently founders or become founders or are distributors, it's $49.99. Okay? The last 3 bonuses, 9, 10, I'm sorry, bonus number 8.5. If you refer a founder, you also get an immediate $60 bonus. One-shot deal, $60 bonus for referring a founder per unit that they purchase. You refer somebody who purchases 5 units because they see this is a great opportunity in a growing market, you're going to pick up an extra $300. That's not a bad little thing for just a simple referral. Plus, if you're also a founder and they pick up 5 shares, you'll pick up matching company profit shares on any of the matching shares that you have when we disperse the pools at the end of December. Okay? Now, bonuses 9, 10, and 11 are not money bonuses, and we're going to go over them further later, but we already talked about it. Unlimited tech support to help you refill for others. That includes all the support in helping them figure out what they need for their printer, helping them if they have trouble refilling, teaching you how to refill your own printer so you can explain it to other people if you care to, etc., etc. You're also getting a listing on Green.ink, which is the Uber of ink and toner. Uber's taken the taxi industry, turned it on its ear. We're doing the same thing with the ink industry, and we give you a Find Me tool that shows your local ink man and ink woman to to your zip code. And we'll talk about how that works here as we move forward. And then last but not least, there's Inkway University, which, again, like we said, is on demand in large part. We'll talk about all the pieces as we go through, but there's a lot of pieces that are already developed. There's whiteboard videos, there's brochures, there's banner ads, there's custom banner ads that can be made, there's custom videos that can be made. There's all sorts of things like that that are accessible to you as you grow your business. Now, let's go ahead and move forward from here. We've talked about how to make money a lot, but I want to talk to you about how to balance out that $49.99 a month. If 8 people come in and sign up, 8, that's it, 8 people, your monthly business expenses are pretty much covered as either a distributor or a founder at $49.99 a month. Okay? At $49.99 a month times 8, you've got enough coming in that you're going to make more than you're going to have to spend in the 12 months of the year. Now, no matter who you are, you want to make sure you're bringing people in, because the only way to grow your business and make money is to show people this as an opportunity to save money and make money at the same time. Show people how you can refill for them, and show people your web store, because somewhere along the way they're going to go, oh, that'll work for me. I want my own ink refill station. Oh, I want my own web store. Oh, I want whatever. Somewhere along the way it'll make sense to them. Here's some things that can happen, and I'm going to give you some examples of some folks that we have out there. When you make that initial referral, you get that $40 when somebody signs up as a distributor. Well, I'm only going to use distributors in this example as we go down through here. I'm not going to talk about founders yet. But if you refer people who become distributors and you get 10 of them, your initial payout is $400 that month. Remember that number at the beginning, CNN stat? $400 per month that most American families are down? I want you to stop and think for just a second what an extra $400 does for you in your house. Now, let's realize that when you start your business, whether you're a distributor or a founder, you're going to get at least one ink refill station. Let's say you go out and you refill for others, and you do 25 printers in a month. That's an easy $1,000 with 4 cartridges per printer, and that's only at $10 a cartridge. That's if you're being really nice. Okay, that's an extra $1,000. If you refer $2,000 of sales to your website, it's another $200. And remember, once they're your customer, they're your customer for good. So if they come back and order later, that's incremental income in another month, or maybe you didn't refer somebody in, or maybe you referred a few people in, but not as many as normal, that kind of thing. And if you refer people to the webinar, we do a lot of the work for you here. We're going to talk about what the business is, how it works, why it's attractive, why people want to jump in. If you bring 7 people a week to the webinar, and we're starting to see that, people are starting to talk to their friends about coming out to the webinar. They're showing the model to their friends. They're showing them how it all works. Okay? At $40 each, that's another $1,000 with 25 people a month coming in. Again, we do a lot of the work for you. That's $2,200 as a distributor per month. That's a lot more than the $400 we were talking about. It's 5 times that amount, 5.25 times that amount. That's a lot of good money coming in. But when we talk about it overall, and we talk about it as a founder, if you're building this as a business in something you want to see investment come through on, you want to realize that these company profit sharing pools are 20% of company profits from the Inkway division, which is the one you're potentially signing up for or already a part of, and 20% of the AccuBrite division, which is the wholesale division of the company. That's the catalog side of things. That's the side of things where you've got your big box stores. That's other types of large unit sales. And they're not selling the ink refill stations that you and I have. What you're going to see out there are smaller little mini kits that are out that have whole sorts of different names that will never be confused with anything we're doing here. And you are by far bringing the best value to the market. But if you're a founder, no matter what, you should actually share in the profits of AccuBrite. You're not part of that part of the company. But Lenny's benevolent enough and nice enough and just big-hearted that he wants to actually share that with everybody to make these pools really worthwhile. So what he's done is, in Pool A, if a founder has 1 share, they share in Pool A. Pool B is anybody that has 2 shares. Pool C is anybody that has 5. And Pool D goes to the purchasing founder with the most units. Now, I've had this question get asked a couple times. There are a couple people that have, in the past, we were selling 1/4 and 1/2 units. We're not doing that right now. We're doing the $1,000 units. But the $250 to $500 units that we did as a promo early on, if you own that, you'll get 1/4. You'll still share in the Pool A, but you'll get 1/4 of 1 share's worth, or 1/2 of 1 share's worth, or 3/4 of 1 share's worth, or whatever it is, or 1 1/2. You don't get cut off, in other words, or you don't not get paid. If you're a founder of any sort, you get paid, and you get paid either in the first pool, or if you own 2 shares, 5 shares, or all the shares, the largest number of shares, you get paid in pools B, C, and D. Okay. Now, what else do you get out of this? We talked about this a little bit before. Inkway University. Well, there's Opportunity Launch. Opportunity Launch is a landing page, capture page creation tool. It also has other nifty little tools on it. We have a couple other options that are coming up now too, where you can go and build landing pages and you go and build out things for you to be able to attract customers, attract people that might be interested, get them onto autoresponders, get them onto information like that. Autoresponders are a marketing tool that consistently sends that prospect emails, in case you're not aware of that up front. Other marketing tools, like we have whiteboard videos. They're generic right now. They go right back to the inkonline.net site and the Inkway USA site. The phone numbers on them are directly to headquarters. If you need them personalized, we can do them for you, customize them that way. But one's built for distributors, one's built for customers. I've sent the customer one out countless times now, and I get hits on it constantly with my direct link in it, my phone number if they want to talk to me directly before they call in. Sometimes they want that personal touch. Then we're also doing LinkedIn training and social media training, and I know there's a few folks I see that are on the list here of people that are in the webinar that had asked about, when are we starting training? When are we going to do the LinkedIn training and the social media training? I want to try to find a time that is conducive to everyone. So if you're on this tonight and you're interested in it, send me what some of the best times you have are, best days of the week, best times of the day. And you can shoot that right down into the chat, or you can send an email to ceo@inkwayusa.com. Or if you have my personal email, you can send it there. Some of you already have that because you've written me before. And I'm happy to help out that way. You can also hit me in the Skype room for Inkway USA, and we can get that. We can answer questions over there too. So there's a lot of different ways to reach out and talk to us. We talked about the Uber of Ink, which is green.ink, and right now that redirects to Inkway USA. It's getting moving. What we're doing is we're setting it up so that it works with apps on Android and on iPhone, so that people can literally download the app, go to their phone, punch in 30555 and say, hey, who's my local ink person in this zip code? Really nice tool, because then all of a sudden it pops up and it says, oh, Mr. Sam Jones is your local ink man in this area. These 4 people are your local ink people in this zip code. Who's closest to me? Let me look at this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, yeah, it's Tom Smith. Tom Smith is my closest person. I call Tom. Tom says, hey, I'm going to be over at the local Starbucks next week refilling cartridges. Oh, I can't wait until next week, Tom. Well, okay, no problem. So you go to the next person. Well, the next person picks up that business then. That's how that works, and it's stuff that works while you're not working your business. You're picking up leads and you're picking up potential traffic that way. Does it mean you're going to get rich overnight? No. Does it mean we're doing work for you that's actually not costing you anything? Yes, and that's really a nice thing. So we talked a little bit about how to sell. Okay, again, talking to office managers who care about carbon footprint, who care about saving the earth and saving money and looking good to their employers. People who want to secure their job by showing people how to save money in the business. People who want to save money in their house because they've got kids that are printing almost as much as they're eating out of the refrigerator. I sometimes think I could spend more on ink than I do on food, and I have a 16-year-old son. If I didn't have this option, I'd be spending an incredible amount on ink. As it stands, I still spend a decent amount on ink, but not nearly as much as I would have been. So going back over the bonuses, again, no other company that I've ever seen has combined all the things we saw on the first couple slides with an ability to make 3-to-1 return on your initial founder unit pay-in within the first couple months. It does not take long to go through 50 refills, which is per station. That's 200 refills total. So if you figure that's 4 cartridges per printer, that's 50 printers you're talking about overall. It's not a big number at all. It's really not that bad at all. So again, highly, highly recommend it that you look at that as an option. You look at being a founder as an option. If you're already a founder, look at picking up more units while they're still available, because they're not going to be available ongoingly. At least we don't believe that they will. There's no reason why they should be. We do these webinars every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern and every Thursday at noon Eastern. Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at noon Eastern. We've been doing that for about 2 months. Again, the amount of people here steadily grows every single week. And we're excited because that means some of you are talking to friends of yours and saying, hey, come on out to the webinar. I'm seeing new names over on the attendee list, people I didn't know from before, which means people are losing their excuses and finding the results. They're getting out of their own way and they're inviting people in to say, hey, look, here's how you can save money while you make money. They're starting to talk about their website. They're starting to talk about their ability to refill. They're starting to say to other people, hey, this is one of the things I do. Even if you're just announcing it as a side job. Hey, my wife and I just launched this new job out of our house. We're actually refilling cartridges for people in the ink space. Wanted to know if I can refill for you. Talk to them as a customer first. As soon as they see what you do, and really honestly how easy it is, or they look at your website and they say, wait, Mr. Smith, you get paid to do this? Yeah. Get 10% on anything you buy on my site. Wow, really? Is it expensive to get into? No, not at all, not especially compared to a licensee or a franchise. Look, folks, I've built entire franchises from the consultancy I used to work for. And I can tell you that, the cost on those, we worked with one that was a fledgling startup of a franchise, and they were charging $25,000 to $50,000 to get in. And then you had to build out your retail location. You had to pay your retail rent each month. You had to do all these other things. They were not opportunities that most people could afford to even finance, much less buy into. This is not one of those types of opportunities. This is something you can get started on right here, right now. You can start leveraging all of it right here, right now. So you can take time out of your day. Literally, it takes a few minutes to either call or email, and we'll give you that information on the next screen. But there's still a handful of founder units available, or there's the option of becoming a distributor. There's always the option of talking to customers. There's always the option of building your business each day by doing a little bit each day. And that's the other thing I want to close out with here. I know we're getting close to 45 minutes, and I'm sorry we went a little bit over our normal time here today. But the simple fact of the matter is that if you spend a little bit of time each day working on this business, and you work to build it, and you start talking about it as something you do, and you start talking to people in your area that may have an interest in it. I'm going to give you an example of something I never expected to have happen, but it just happened just the other day. I got a phone call, and I own another company as well. I got a phone call, and I thought the phone call was actually about my other company, Beneficity. And it turned out that it actually was about Inkway. That someone had seen a post that I had made in a forum on a business cost savings site where I said, if you're interested in finding various ways to save money in your business, you can give me a call. One of the most lucrative ways to save money in your business is actually something you use every day, which is ink and toner. Are you aware you could save 50 to 75% off what most offices like yours are paying while saving the planet? That was pretty much the post I put out there. This person called me. She said, I've been looking for a way for our office to live up to the LEED certification and other things that we have that are all go green type things. And I would love to save some money for our office as well. It's just that we have these cartridges, these toner cartridges for our laser printers and our inkjet printers that are all for printers that we honestly are, they're older. Most people don't have stuff to fit them. We have to buy them specialty right now. We were able to find them immediately and save them between 50 and 60% off on all of it. So now I've got a customer that is going to potentially be a very big customer because they're starting to refer people in their office building. I've already gotten 2 phone calls there. And all I did at the end of the conversation was, if you know anybody else that this could be helpful to, anybody in your office building, anybody that you work with, any of your peers in the office manager world or in the HR world, because she kind of wears both hats, let's talk about that. And bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, all of a sudden I'm getting phone calls from people in her little enclave of offices there. It's not really an office building. It's more like an office park. And, they're starting to call and say, hey, this is what we have. So with that in mind, again, there are all sorts of ways in which you can go out, get out of your own way, start turning ink into cash, sign up now if you haven't, activate now if you haven't. The easiest way to get hold of us right now is via email. The phones are jammed up usually when people call and they get frustrated because they leave a message and it takes a little while for us to get back to you. If you leave us an email at ceo@inkwayusa.com, ceo@inkwayusa.com, we tend to get back to you very, very quickly. If you call us at 559-434-1000, that is another way to get hold of us. You can try the Skype room as well if you want to. That's another way to potentially get hold of us. On from there, what I would tell you is pay attention when the blasts are coming out. If you're here, we most likely have your email. And check the Skype room for the actual sign up. I was a little late getting there today. We already had somebody that had actually set out the sign up link. But take the time, come out, check the room, send out the invitation link for the webinar. It does require registration, so you'll see your friends if they pop in. You'll be able to talk to them and say, hey, did you make it? You won't have to say, hey, were you there? I don't know. I couldn't tell if the chiming in sound was you in the background or not. So on and on from there. We've got about 10 minutes left until we hit the top of the hour, 15 minutes left until we hit the top of the hour. I'm going to ask if anybody here has any questions for us at all at this point. You can drop into the chat box down here and feel free to ask any questions you have. I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. I want to thank everybody again for taking the time on a busy Wednesday night to come out. We've got people here literally from around the world. When I look at the attendee list, I'm amazed when I see that we literally have folks that are overseas. We have people that are down under. We have people that are here in the United States. We have people up in Canada. People all over the place here. And I just want to thank you all for taking the time to come out and getting excited and getting moving on what we've got going on here with Inkway. So does anybody have any questions? And Debbie, by the way, again, thank you very much for your questions and your input earlier. All right, well, if that's, oh, actually, wait, hold on. Debbie's typing something. Let's see if we got a question coming. Oh, great call. Hey, thanks, Debbie. I appreciate that. It's nice to hear that. We try to put as much value into these as we can. And I'm going to start, like I said, pushing towards getting a social media webinar together as well. For those of you that want to do it, that's actually included in the overall scope and scale of this. And I'll point this out to you. One last thing. I know I said this one last thing a couple times now. My fiance gives me crap about this all the time. Here's the thing. That $49.99 a month you're paying. If you take that times 6, that equals out to $299.94. That's the cost of a inkjet refill station, which you're getting. So essentially, you're paying every 6 months for one more inkjet refill station. Okay. Now I spoke to somebody earlier today, and I'm not going to call out any names, but I spoke to somebody earlier today who told me, "Oh, I still have a bunch of the ink that I was sent when I bought my Founder units." I said, "Well, why? Why do you still have it?" "Well, I just, I don't know. I'm not going to use it. I don't print that much." I said, "Yeah, but this is your chance to go either refill for others or at a very minimum, turn around and sell those to your neighbors or your friends for the cost, the $300 and make at least $200 profit over top of what you actually initially put in per unit." That's another way to do it. And it's really not that hard to do because, again, there's a lot. I mean, there's $1,200 worth of ink in each one of those boxes on a retail value. $1,200. Okay. So when it comes right down to it, if you aren't working the business, you're not going to make money. If you're working the business, you've got a chance to make some really good money. If you bring in people that you're expecting to ride their coattails, please don't do that. Don't expect to ride their coattails. Please understand that a lot of what you do is going to be based on your own motivation because people will follow your lead. If you bring in people and you expect them to do all the work for you, you're not going to get there. If you come in and you work your tail off and you get people underneath you, not all of them are going to follow your lead, but some of them are. And the ones that are the ones that you're going to have keepers around. They're going to be the ones that help put your kid through college, or they're going to be the ones that help make you go through retirement. But you got to lead by example. And again, we try to do that here. I try to say that I'll never ask anybody to do something I haven't done myself. I have actually gone out and tested in the open market everything I've talked to you about today and worked with people that are doing the exact same thing. And I want you to know that it is possible. Do you get yeses every time? No, you don't. Do you get yeses some of the times? Yes, you do. And do you get surprise yeses some of the times? Yes, you do. But you have to work it every day. You have to go out and talk about it. You have to let people know you're doing it. And you can't get frustrated when the first 10 people you talk to say no. Because you got to get used to pitching it. You got to get used to talking about it. And that's the next part, the last part I'll leave you with is it's not something you're selling that they don't already buy. So don't make it a big deal. Hey, if I could save you, I can show you a way to save money on your ink that you buy every week or every month or every quarter or every, once a year, whatever it is. Would that be of interest to you? If that's of interest to you, great. Here's my link. Great. I can do refills for you. Great. You'd like to do this too? Let me show you how you can become a founder or a distributor. Okay. That's it. That's all I had for tonight. Again, thank you all very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to working with each one of you. To your greatest success, this is Andy the Inkster Writer, signing off.